She's 24.
You should show up on the date with this box.
She's 24.
Hey, honey. let's have some dinner.
I want to have a nice solid stool.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to a pocket party. Pocket party. They're wrong.
And we're back. Hey everybody, it's your host Darren Carter, the party starter, and the one and only
John DiResta, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me use your kitchen to record a podcast in.
Yeah, this is some operation.
I'm telling, dude, I can't even move my chair at all because
Is this how Joe Rogan started?
Exactly. Sadly, I've been doing this for 5 years now. We're past the started phase, you know. But hey, I want to thank you. We were over there and it was still too dark, so I said let's just jump in. And,
And also, the living room is now my store.
Yeah.
So behind this camera, there's 40 rustic benches.
Can I show them real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, let's do it.
I'll be right here.
All right, so check this out. Yeah, look at this. Wow. Check this out. These are all for sale, you guys. These are all for sale. If you guys are listening to the podcast, I want you to go over to YouTube and check it out. On the YouTube channel, you will see all this furniture. It is for sale.
Even the table.
Even the table. That's right. Oh, wow, you have a lot. Mirrors and stuff, whatnot. Wow, look at this cabinet. This is cool. Look at that. I got my flashlight. I can open it
Hold on. This is a new thing I've been making.
Yeah, tell us.
I throw these in free. If someone buys 2 or 3 benches,
yeah,
I make these funky tattoo artwork.
Wow.
These. Yeah. They're cool, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Every one of them is just a completely freehand design that has no rhyme or reason.
Is that for sale?
No, I bought that. That's funny.
That? Oh, that's cool.
Adrian made that.
Oh, that's cool.
I gave her $50 for it.
Dude, I like the door.
Yeah, that came with the house.
Wow. Everything has a price.
That's funny.
Like, how much would this table be?
It was custom $5.99. She didn't like the color, so I made her another one. She gave me a $200 tip for making her another one.
Yeah.
And it's online for $3.99. But I would sell it for just about anything. I'm the only guy on earth that has probably 35 or 40 different dinner tables in the last 26 years.
Who else does that?
Nobody.
Besides woodworkers.
I don't know who else.
Crackheads?
There you go.
Wasn't that a joke we did on a previous episode?
Not sure, but today was March 27th.
Yeah.
1998. I resigned the police department 26 years ago today.
Let me move this just a little bit. Wow. So, I think once you're watch your foot though. I'm afraid you're
I see it. I got it.
Once you're a cop, you're always a cop in a sense, right? Like your heart is in it.
No. I mean, I didn't like it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's hard to care about the subway of New York.
Yeah.
For $300 a week. You know what I mean? Like, I never cared if someone jumped the turnstile. I never cared if someone smoked a cigarette. I had zero investment. So I was in a quandary. Do you know what a quandary is?
Yeah, a rock and a hard place.
It's like saying you'll do a podcast. Next thing you know, you're in the kitchen.
You're in the kitchen. Yeah, next to the Fiber One. Wow. What it has done, it's made me on stage as a comedian. I patrol. You know, that stage is my post. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm in charge. Yeah. It's my party. And that goes back to standing in the subway. Hey, this I got to keep myself alive and keep people alive here. And it's made me very vigilant. And like if I'm at 7-Eleven, I look in the window to see who's behind me. Yeah. You dig what I mean? Like I'm 3 steps ahead of everybody, especially in LA, where you put your gas in your car in LA like this. Yeah. You can't keep your back turned for 1 second. And you're supposed to lock the passenger doors because sometimes you're messing with the fuel thing and then they open the passenger door. Oh, God, I never even heard that. Yeah. Really? And they steal stuff that you have on your seat and whatnot. And it's funny you say that. I did something today. I don't know if it was here or I did something where I said, in Long Island, I know what it was. The Uber was coming and I rolled my luggage to the end of a driveway and let it sit there while I waited the half hour inside. Yeah.
If I would have done that here, I would be gone, and I would think it would be gone.
Yeah. You just don't.
Oh, and another thing, in Long Island, you can start your car and let it run.
Yeah.
Here, every time I let my car run and I run back in the house, when I come out, I expect it to be gone.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And you know what? And he's not making this up. You had your truck stolen.
I had my truck stolen twice in 24 hours. I went. Did you know that?
Wow.
Got stolen twice. They found it. My son said, "Hey, it's at a movie theater." They didn't impound it, and Matt's called a tow truck, and they said 400 tonight or 150 tomorrow. So Matt called me. I was on the road as a comedian. I said, "Let's do it tomorrow," and he went, and it was gone again.
Wow.
So whoever stole it had the keys. It was their car now.
Wow. And now they're like squatters for your...
They were squatters for my car, and then winds up, I think they were homeless.
Dude, I think I'm a squatter with this podcast.
That's funny.
I come to your house.
That's funny.
Here's what I wanted to do. By the way, if you guys want to come see me live, I'll be at the San Jose. Go to San Jose. There's a place called Mama Kin. I'll be there April 25th. April 25th at Mama Kin, San Jose. The link will be in the description, so make sure you get your tickets. And if you want to come see John DiResta, same thing, follow him on Instagram. And let's get into it, all right? So my son...
Got it.
My son, Os the Bass Boss, a.k.a. Os the Bass Boss. One of the assignments at school was to interview someone who was 55 and up. And we thought, both my wife and I were like, John DiResta, let's interview John DiResta.
Right.
And, because it was supposed to be a senior citizen, but I was like, well, we'll just say 55 and up. But, so anyways, we
Ouch and zing.
Yeah, I know. Because I said,
no, it's all right. I know my place.
Because especially at first, I go, hey, can my son interview you? And you're like, oh, yeah, you want me to come to the school, talk to the acting class? And
Yeah,
I was like,
that was funny. I told that story quite a few times.
what did you say?
Nah, they're looking more for a senior citizen.
Senior citizen. And then you know who was there? Like the next week, Al Pacino. Al Pacino came to my son's high school and was in the acting class reading and doing some Shakespeare and stuff with the kids. But it was funny.
My daughter took an acting class in junior high, and I said, "How was school today?" And she goes, "Some asshole was there," and it was Kevin Spacey. So it happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Was that in L.A.?
Yeah, that was in right here, Sherman Oaks.
Wow. All right, so he interviewed you, and we did it over the spring break, and it was such a great interview. I said, I'm gonna do this on the podcast. So,
all right, go ahead.
All right, let's get to it. All right, here we go.
I'm not gay.
What? Yeah. We can skip some of these questions. Where were you born?
I was born in Far Rockaway, Queens. So I'm a real New Yorker. Even though I was raised in Long Island, I was born in New York City. We lived in a housing tenement. Me and my brother Joey were the only two Caucasian children in this huge housing tenement. And at the age of 2, we moved to Long Island, and we became the only Goyim Catholic kids in a rich Jewish neighborhood. So imagine going from the only white kids to the only white trash kids.
Yeah.
And we grew up in a Jewish neighborhood called the Five Towns.
That's cool. So, it's funny because I grew up in Fresno, California. I don't think I remember having a bagel until I was I was 18.
Wow.
I didn't really grow up around. I don't think bagels were that. I mean, I don't think they were nationwide, really, right?
I don't know. I do know that bagels out here suck. You know what a bagel is in LA?
What?
It's bread with a hole in it.
Yes, exactly.
It's not the real.
The same, huh?
No, not. When I was just back in New York, it was fantastic. I go every morning to the bagel place, and it's expensive.
Yeah, I do like some bagels, but I don't have anything to compare it to except for other bagels out here. But I like
bagels and pizza. Everyone says
I like an everything bagel.
So do I.
That's my favorite. What about next? Who is in your family? Brothers, sisters?
My older brother Joey works for 1-800-INVENT. Then there's me, and then my younger brother Jimmy is famous on the internet. And then Kathleen owns a jewelry company in Long Island, makes custom jewelry. So there's 4 of us.
Wow, that's cool. You guys all kind of make stuff.
Yeah, so it's an unusual little path that we took. And I was about 33 years ago. They did an article in our hometown Joey works in the toy business. Jimmy's a toy inventor. Kathleen makes furniture. They have a T-shirt company. They have a poster company. It goes on and on for 15 paragraphs, and the last line said, "The fourth brother is a transit cup." And I felt like, because I used to make stuff before that. I had craft businesses.
Yeah.
So I felt very stagnated.
Yeah.
Confiscated. Confined.
Yeah.
And now I've broken out.
Now you're broken out, and you're like, I'm making stuff too, guys.
No, I'm just saying, in a weird way, I was at the workshop all day, and now I'm making funnies.
That's true. You're not only making tables and building furniture, you're making comedy, you're doing podcasts, we're going to do some commercials for some
The wheel
people.
in the sky keeps on turning. Pound it.
That's right.
I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Who sings that?
Steve Perry, Journey.
Right. 2 points.
Replaced by a Filipino.
And Steve Perry was in love with?
Your wife. And Steve Perry is from Hanford, California, and he has his own bench at the park. And my son sat on the bench.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
I could send you a picture of it. What was your family like?
Everything was funny. Everything to get through. My dad was the epitome of someone that got triggered once a day. My dad threw a fit once a day. No matter what, he found it. It was 8 in the morning, 8 at night.
Yeah.
Christmas morning, he bought all of us toys that had no batteries. So we were all, instead of us all being happy, like all 4 of us were like, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And he'd be like, hey, what do you mean it doesn't work?
Hold on. Here's the phrase. We grew up in a rich neighborhood, so sneakers matter. The decal on the jeans, Sassoon, Jordache, Nike, Puma, Adidas, Lacoste, all this stuff mattered.
Yeah.
And we always got the knockoff.
Same too.
So instead of getting Nikes, we got Mikes.
Yeah.
And the swish was upside down.
Yep. I got these things called Stadias. They look like a whale.
And my dad would scream on Christmas morning, "It's just like the one you wanted." It's not the one you wanted.
Right. It was just like it.
Looking back, they did what they could. They raised 5 really. My parents raised 5 really creative kids that are one step ahead of a lot of things. And I would say they're better parents than I was.
Did you have Miller's Outpost where you lived? Was that a store?
I had Miller's Lot.
So Miller's Outpost was like a really cool clothing store in the 80s.
No.
And I remember my mom got mad at me because for one Christmas, because I didn't want to, if I just put I would like some sweatsuit, jeans. They'll just grab it from
Models.
Yeah,
that's where we got it from. Yeah.
So I was like,
$1.99 sweatpants.
Yes, they fit weird. There's no pockets.
Yeah. That's funny, dude.
The string you pull the other side pops out,
and then you're stuck.
Yeah. So I said Miller's. I said clothes, and I put and I underlined it. Please from Miller. I probably didn't say please though. From Miller's Outpost, and she got so mad at me for that.
Wow.
And it's hilarious because it wasn't like Bloomingdale's. It was just like
no. We always went to Models. It was an Army Navy store.
Oh, and now I like those places, those Army Navy stores. But I guess it'd be different if you're in school and that's your choice of clothes. It's like, describe your life when you were a child. Like what you played, the kind of...
I played football from a very young age. Not really baseball, but I played football and I worked in the workshop. I was from 5 years old. I was in a workshop making stuff.
Wow! And what kind of meals did you guys eat?
My dad was a cook at the firehouse. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so a lot of home-cooked meals.
TV dinners?
Every now and then, but mostly home-cooked to the point where, I actually really miss it because I'm single now, so I'm all day long at a drive-through. Mm-hmm. And
did you guys have a routine with your meals?
Not really. But I don't know if this fits into that. We used to go to a lot of New York City Fire Department events, barbecues with hundreds of kids, hundreds of firemen, and it was nothing but a fantastic memory.
Wow.
And my wife was at these functions when we were 5 and 7 and 10 years old, and we didn't know each other.
Oh, wow, because she also was in the fire department.
No, well, she was in a blue-collar family.
Wow.
And then I graduated the New York City Police Academy with 2,900 other men and women, world record, in Madison Square Garden. Maybe you heard of it. And that was December 18th. 1986, and I was down in the pit with all the on the floor where the hockey or the basketball would be.
Yeah.
And my future wife was up in the stands.
Wow.
And we didn't know each other.
And now your next wife was probably born about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Someone likes the young ones.
Hey-o. Zing.
Watch this.
Yeah.
I could actually say that a girl I was hanging out with, she was young, but I would say she's 5 days older than my daughter. Right? So it makes it okay.
Yeah.
It's sarcastic. She's 5 days older than my daughter. Right?
Yeah. A lot of math for an audience, though.
Okay.
Daughter, 5 days.
Now,
Yeah.
the new one I met is 23 years older than my grandson.
Oh, well, that's good. She sounds like an older woman. I don't know how old your grandson is. Is he
He's
18
one.
now? He's 1! Ah!
She's 24.
You should show up on the date with this box.
She's 24.
Hey, honey. let's have some dinner.
I want to have a nice solid stool.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll put that away. Yeah, I remember we used to have like a routine with our meals.
No, I know what you mean. Well, I do know this.
Yeah.
That my dad got paid every other Thursday as a New York City fireman, and Wednesday night we always had eggs and pancakes.
Yeah. Oh
Because we
yeah.
were broke.
Yeah. I like that.
Breakfast at dinner.
Oh yeah.
But they
Oh, that's good.
They sold it to you like it was a treat.
Yeah.
But they weren't telling you we have no money. That's funny.
Yeah. So whenever my dad would go out of town on Saturdays, rather than doing the pancake breakfast and blah, 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 my mom would go to Winchell's Donuts, and so we'd have donuts on Saturday morning. Which is, looking back, I'm like, that's probably not the best nutrition,
That's a rough one.
Like a dozen donuts. But when you're a kid, who wouldn't want donuts for breakfast?
I bought a dozen donuts yesterday. I couldn't wait to have one. I bought them for the guys at the lumberyard.
Yeah.
And, hey, Matt.
Yo.
And, I had one. It wasn't good. It was just too sugary.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah, I know. It's like now I'm used to blueberries. Blueberries is like the perfect sweetness, I tried peanut butter and jelly a couple of years ago. It was too sweet. It was gross. I'd rather have peanut butter and blueberries.
Speaking of too sweet, did I mention that I'm hanging out with a girl that's 24 years old?
Nice. So we covered what do your parents do for work.
You know what's sugary?
What's that?
The devil's cookie.
The devil's cookie.
Go ahead.
How about an angel's cookie?
Go
Let's
ahead.
keep it positive. What is your fondest memory of childhood?
Believe it or not, I don't think I've ever told anyone this. I didn't tell your son this. Miller's Lot was a big nursery that sold Christmas trees and flowers for 100 years. And when we were all about 7 or 8 years old, it closed. And it stayed vacant for years. Dirt bikes, bonfires. It was our Lord of the Flies, really. And there was a section all the way in the back left where there must have been a garbage dump. And I used to dig with a couple of other guys, and we dig and we bring up bottles from the 1800s.
Wow.
Crazy bottles that had like so-and-so snake oil and potion, Coca-Cola. A Coke bottle made 150 years ago.
Wow.
And that was a very, I have a whole collection at my mom's house
It was
still.
fun, like treasure hunting.
It was a crazy, weird thing that I don't think I've thought of in 55 years.
Have you gone back and looked at it to see how big that lot is, or what's?
No, they built houses.
Oh.
So they built 6 houses on it, and we wind up playing in those. Now we were like drinking age, so while the houses were being built, we're in a house drinking and smoking pot at 16. Now people live in them. But I've yet to look at the bottle collection in my mother's basement. I haven't looked at it in 25, 30 years.
Wow. Yeah, I grew up around some empty fields myself. We used to love going to the fields. And then even as I was growing up, and I remember being like 11, like one of the fields, they built apartment complexes on it. So, well, there goes that field. But before then, I would like ride my dirt bike or my...
They paved Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah. Joni Mitchell. Put up a parking lot. Yeah.
Next.
Okay. What one event in your childhood changed your life the most? How and why?
Probably not to get too sappy, but when I was about 16 or 17, I fell in love with a girl. Doreen Zampaglione.
Nice. That's cool. See, I like this. By the way, you gave a different answer last time. Last time you said something about going to a Twisted Sister concert.
Oh, got it. Okay, right. Instead of going to my prom.
Yeah.
Instead of going to my high school prom, I went to see Twisted Sister, and it was the greatest concert ever. And it's on YouTube. You could watch it tonight. North Stage Dinner Theater. It was the night of my high school prom. And I want to try and find myself in the audience, but it's 1,500 white trash punks with a mullet, a denim vest, with their fists to the light. Every one of them looks alike.
Wow. Did they have that song, I Wanna Rock? Did they have that?
No, that's funny. That album came out in 84.
Wow. And the same thing with the other big hit that I know.
They didn't have either of those. But they had there's 25 songs that we all knew word for word. Tear It Loose, Ladies Boy. And
then how did you guys feel when those songs got popular? Like people like...
I was off trying to get on the police department, and it was weird. I didn't really follow him then.
Oh, really?
I didn't follow him as much. No, but I will tell you this. I would have been in the heavy metal history books. I picked up and moved. I failed out of 2 colleges.
Yeah.
I moved to Huntington Beach, California. Right, I graduated 82. By 84, I'm a failure at 2 colleges. My brother Joey says, move to Huntington Beach, I'll get you a job. I moved to Huntington Beach, and I checked, you know how like the local paper has 3 pages and it has entertainment?
Yeah.
So you always look for the comedy clubs?
Yeah.
And there was an article, 1 inch by 1 inch, and it said, heavy metal fan, ? Be in the Twisted Sister video. We're not going to take it.
Wow.
And it was 3,000 miles from where I saw Twisted Sister. Yeah. And it was at, if you said the name, it's off the 57. It was at that high school out here.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Montebello High School.
Wow.
And guess what happened? I was all ready to go, and a friend of ours got killed in a drunk driving accident, Roger. And we had to mourn him and go to get drunk.
Yeah.
I would have been
right. Yeah. You
they're in the stands.
Yeah. You would have been crying.
No, I'm saying I would have been in the video.
Yeah.
I Want to Rock.
How was your life different back then as it compared to today?
Less troubles, less health problems, less bills, more fun. I mean, if you think about it, all it was planning the next fun event. Where here it's bills.
Yeah.
You're
right.
Problems.
Isn't that crazy how I think we have to adjust our thinking sometimes, because you're right. If you were to be like a 16-year-old kid and see what you're doing now, like doing comedy, building furniture, people are interviewing for their shows.
It's not a rat race.
You know what I mean?
And I used to I know you're not going to answer, but back then I listened to Frampton Comes Alive on 8-track.
Yeah.
Frampton Comes Alive, Cheap Trick, and Bob Dylan, Times Are Changing.
Yeah. What's the Cheap Trick song? The one that's big. I Want You, Want Me.
No, that wasn't out yet.
Oh.
Mommy's all right.
Oh yeah.
Daddy's all right. They just seem a little weird. Surrender. Yeah. And I just listened to the album the other night. You're on top of the world. You're on top of the world.
What was the one that I just said? The Cheap Trick
That was
song?
Live from Budokan. That was like the most famous.
No, what was the name of the song I just said?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, I did the same. What is it?
I want
Yeah.
you. And that's a copy of somebody.
You want me.
Yeah.
I need you. So they have a Christmas song. Do you know how the Christmas song goes?
No.
And you can look it up. I want you for Christmas.
No,
I need. Yeah, it's like the laziest Christmas song. Yeah. We're gonna skip this over. What was the best thing that ever happened at school? And what were your best subjects?
Oh, I believe in I took a filmmaking class. I liked that a lot. So who knew that in 9th or 10th grade I wanted to be in the movies?
Wow.
I took a filmmaking class.
And you did get to go to the movies.
With Mr. Dunn. I know, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I lost my way for a long time. Even I found an old phone book from when I was a kid, teenager, and every single page was just a comedy club.
Wow.
It was Governor's, Brokerage, you know what I'm saying? It was
especially back then when you're like
16 or 17.
Clubs. Yeah. I mean, New York, it's like, isn't that crazy? You would see Governors and then now you're performing there.
I know, dude, the whole thing, all of it. The fact that I'm doing a podcast for you when I'm a star.
The fact that we're making your kitchen, turning it into
No,
a
I don't
set.
mind, dude. I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all. I don't want to sound like a complainer. I'm just happy I'm not. I'm not in a hospital.
Yep.
I'm not in a rehab, and I'm not broke. Your turn.
What problems did teenagers have back then?
Where are we going to get our pot? Whose car are we going to borrow? Yeah.
Did you guys eat on campus or off campus?
That's a good question. We had a cafeteria, but we could. It's a funny question. We could eat at the cafeteria, or you could literally walk 100 feet to a red light, Chinese restaurant, pizza, China Jade. Yeah.
I think we weren't allowed to go off campus until 11th grade.
Oh, no. Yeah. Everyone could come and go.
Wow. And did you go on any dates in high school?
I went on a lot of dates, yeah. I was handsome. I was captain of the football team.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
And you guys are probably...
Yes, hold on. Doreen Zampaglione, Susan Schneider, Debbie Maggots, Missy Rayner.
Wow.
Jenny Langsam, Eileen Carney. Tell me when to stop.
Wow, look at you. And what did you guys do on dates? Like, was it more wholesome a little bit?
Once we turned 16, you could get fake ID for 18. You had to be 18 to drink. So as soon as we turned 16 or 17, everybody took their date to Beefsteak Charlie's. $9.99. At least I think it might even be less. It was like $5.99. You got a steak. All you could drink beer, wine, and sangria, and all the shrimp you could eat.
Wow.
And that was the date. That was everybody went.
Wow.
Beefsteak Charlie's.
Who was your first love?
I want to say Susan Schneider, but it was probably Doreen Zampaglione.
And did the person love you back, or was it you just a one-way crush?
No. We were madly in love, and about a couple of years into it, I got eased aside, and I just got back in touch with her 42 years later.
Oh, wow.
Found it. She thinks I'm a star.
Wow.
And I look like George Clooney.
Yeah. That's amazing. We're going to skip some of these questions because you sort of already answered them.
Yeah, no problem.
How old were you when you first got married?
24.
Wow.
Got married on the side of Diamond Head Mountain in Hawaii.
Wow.
I should have jumped off right there.
Getting married, man. Dang.
I don't know what I was thinking.
I got married at 28.
How long were you dating?
10 months.
Yeah, we were dating about 8 months when I asked her.
Wow.
And then it was like another 3 months.
Yeah.
But then we had a baby 9 months later. We had another baby 11 months later.
Dang.
And another baby 11 months later.
That's like the real, yeah, my wife and I, we didn't have our first kid. Well, we only have one child, but we didn't have Austin, aka Austin the bass boss, until we were married for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We just were like...
Dude, I went from being a single guy with a nice car to being broke with 3 kids and a wife in 3 years.
And your life does change when you're... it's like, it's like... I think it's for the better. For me, it's for the better. And it's for the better, right? The grandson, the whole thing. But it definitely changes, It's... I think being married with kids... But you got married young.
Is a long, dry hand job.
Yeah.
And I mean that with all due respect.
Yeah.
Pound it.
Yeah, I think your situation is different though, with 3 kids, the pressure, the cops.
Broke. I blamed everything on everybody. You know what I mean?
Because I think when like I appreciate it. Like Austin's 16, and I'm not one of those parents that's like, I can't wait till he turns 18 and get the hell out of I'm like, every day I look.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's the only way you should look at it.
Yeah, I want to be like, like even today, I'm like, we're talking, I'm, hanging out with him a little bit, but I guess he's trying to study, then I'm trying to like edit, and I'm like.
Yeah, if you're in a weird spot, because sooner or later it's going to be all his friends in a car, and you're going to, and I don't want you to pick me up in front of school.
Yeah, all that stuff, But he and I bond over a lot of stuff, making videos, comedy, music.
No, you're very lucky.
I love that, and I'm lucky to have him. And our thing now is we do, because he likes to one-up me, so I do 100 push-ups a day.
Oof. And
then he's like, Dad, I did 101. He'll go, how many did you do? And so now he was a little, he had a cough, so we're like, yeah, you don't need to do the 100 push-ups, even though you did it every day since January 1st. So he took 11 days off. And to make up for it, now he's doing 200 push-ups a day. But he's going to stop that on Saturday. And then
couldn't do one.
And go back to the 100. It's just about... Imagine if your dad made you do it, though.
No, I'm just saying, if I had to do one right now, I couldn't do one.
Well, I had to start on my knees like a girl, and then I eventually worked up. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's hard at first if you don't do it. You have a grandchild?
Yes, I do. Noah is his name. He's 1 year old.
What's different about today's children and teenagers as compared to when you were growing up?
I think we were much more less triggered. I know it's an easy answer.
Yeah.
I think teenagers know a lot about the world now, and they're more opinionated, and they're trained in these schools to dislike certain things and to believe in global warming.
Yeah, it was funny because when my son interviewed you a week ago, you basically said, kids today are a bunch of spoiled maggots.
No shit.
Who love to gaslight. When I was growing up, the kids were whatever you said. I couldn't really, it faded right there.
I think we said enough.
Yeah. I love it though, but it's true though, right? Like the things are a little bit different, and I still feel like we were a lot more polite. I mean, I'm sure there's some polite kids out there, but they definitely, I always like to call people by their last name, and I like to hear that still.
I just don't think that kids don't go and play anymore. You know what I mean? Everyone from the day they're a little kid till the day they go to college, they don't really get out of the house. They don't. You know what I mean? Remember we used to leave at sun up and come down at 9 at night.
Yeah.
Strange.
When you look at some of the highlights of your life, what do you say like 2 or 3 highlights are?
I did a one-man show that turned into a sitcom as a highlight. I had my own sitcom. That's a highlight. I got drunk with Robert De Niro. I did the Tonight Show. You did the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
However, I did Couch. The birth of my grandson, the birth of my 3 kids, but the birth of my grandson somehow, some way is kind of made it all the shit sandwiches worth it.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. I'm a street poet. I don't know if you know that.
Do you have any regrets?
How much time do we have? No, not really, because watch this. I resigned the New York City Police Department 26 years ago today.
Yeah.
Just by chance.
Dang.
And resigning at that time saved me from 9/11.
Yeah.
So the few times I might think, oh, I lost my pension, I should have stayed, I might have been killed on 9/11 or have cancer now from 9/11.
Yeah.
So I don't have many regrets. I mean, I'm glad I could really say at this very right now moment, everything I've been through has kind of helped me. You know what I mean? People say it as a cliche, but
and you also have a reason to get up every day with your workshop and then the gigs and it'd be.
I'm really glad that I don't just live from stand-up gig to stand-up gig. Like a lot of these guys move to Vegas.
Yeah.
They don't have a day job. They're our age. Yeah. And they go from 50 to 100 to 100 to 300 to 500 to 50, and they sit on top of the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm glad that's not me.
Right. It's and they left technology behind where they're like they don't know how to use social media or any of this stuff, or they're not connected with anyone.
They're not on the YouTubes.
Exactly. It's like you gotta entertain people out there like you guys.
You're with the Facebooks.
Yeah, I'm on MySpace. Tom's my friend.
Yeah, that's funny.
Do you have? Before we get into the hobbies, would you like to retire? Do you not want to retire?
If I had enough money and I could buy a house in the wilderness with a lake and a pool, yes. But I don't have. I do have a little bit of a monthly income. But I would, I would look forward to it, yeah. I mean, someone asked me the other day, because I had the best show ever as a stand-up Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I left a few things at this house party. I went back the next day. And the wife said, which do you like better, the stand-up or the woodworking? I said, the stand-up. I don't have to answer to anyone, the color.
Right.
I don't have to be physically hurt with tools. I don't have to carry things. And she said, if you never, ever, ever had to do another set, would it bother you? I said, probably. But after Saturday night went so well, and I'm going to put it out as an album, John DiResta, Your Mom's Cookie.
They recorded it?
I recorded it on my phone, but the audio is really, it sounds like an old Rodney Dangerfield album. Cool. People yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And then, dude, when I said Ozzy or Dio, it turned into a fight in the audience.
Wow.
And that'll be on the album. That'll be the track, Ozzy versus Dio, the argument.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was just talking to a guy today. Shout out to Sal. He's a drummer for the group War.
Okay.
Low rider.
He's been with the band for like 30-something years. His very first concert, I want to say, was 1971 or 72. He told me it was Black Sabbath.
Wow.
Here in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, we should connect, man. I know you guys would dig each other, like the music and stuff.
That's George Lopez's opening song.
Yeah. Do you have any, outside of woodworking and comedy, do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I'm a canoodler. I don't know what the word is, but I have a sketchbook or a slam book, and I write down woodworking. I write down the sets, what worked, what didn't work, where I worked, if I got paid, the date. I transcribe. Yeah. I take notes like a detective. But while I'm doing that, I draw really funky, weird faces and flames, and like a lot of people think they could be used as tattoos.
Wow. You know how like Hunter Biden would paint something and then people would pay like 1.5 million for it? Yeah. I wonder if you could ever draw or something or paint.
I don't know. I'm not good. My stuff is more just pen to paper. It's weird. Every now and then I'll mess around with a brush and I can't get it.
Imagine if you did, because I know this one comedian, Jamar Neighbors, shout out to Jamar. He paints these, he's gotten really good at this stuff. Well, it's like creative, I'd say.
Did you ever see what Terry Crews paints?
No.
The guy from...
the guy with the chest?
Dude.
That guy?
He's Picasso.
Really?
He'll paint you or me sitting here, and it looks like a snapshot.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
I'll Google it. So anyways, Jamar Neighbors, I'd see him at the Comedy Store in the main room, and at the end of his set, he holds up his art and does like a bidding thing with the audience, and sometimes they...
Oh yeah, I want to do that in a one-man show, yeah.
You could totally do that.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of the questions are similar to the ones you already asked. If you had your life to live over again, would you change anything?
Probably, but I mean, I have to think on it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if it got me here, and et cetera, et cetera.
There was a great... God, I'm trying to think, because I love the answer that you said last time on the...
Go ahead.
Okay, I forget the question. It might have been, what advice would you give me about life? I think it was you gave my son Austin this about life.
Was it save your money, manage your money?
No, basically the answer was I'll say soy sauce, if that rings a bell. But not soy sauce. If you order Chinese food and they don't have soy sauce and you...
Yeah, there's no reason to flip out.
Yeah,
you got to stay... Nothing is a big deal. Nothing is a big deal. Let it roll off your back and don't worry, because 95% of what you worry about never happens. So it's taking up the energy in your mind when you should just be solving the problem. Like, I'll give you an example. If we're building something at the shop and we go to put it together and we cut it and measured it wrong, instead of trying to figure out where we cut it or measure it wrong, I don't even care for 1 second.
Right.
I switch to, how do we fix it? Because it's already messed up. Somebody did cut, doesn't matter. But my wife, Fran, God rest her soul, would harp for the next hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
About what took place already. And it's taken up time from solving the problem.
It's like, that's the past, let's go on. I remember one day, you and I were on our way to a Christmas party to perform. And I remember the curb was really high. And when I went to park, it kind of hit my front end, and it kind of scraped it a little bit. And I was like, And then you go, And then you said something like, if that's the worst thing that happens today, it ain't that bad.
Yeah. The three things today happened today that I didn't want and I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
And all three things I said, all right, if that's the biggest problem of the day, I'll take it. It could always be worse. Always, 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 always.
Yeah. Right on, man. Anything else you want to add before we end this podcast?
No, I want to say thank you for all your help with the videos, the support. We met, what was the name of that comedy club we met at?
Back in the day, it was in the Valley.
LA Connection?
LA Cabaret.
LA Cabaret. Yeah. That place had a sad vibe, didn't it? It had a weird...
It did.
It had like a darkness, like it looked like you were going into like a museum.
Yeah, it did. It had like that front area, then the back area, and it was like...
And there was a picture of you in a frame in Playgirl magazine or something.
Yeah, you remember.
I remember.
It's hilarious. Yeah, my wife and I did radio. I did like Kiss FM or something, and the guy that was the publicist for the radio station, he's like, we had just got married, my wife and I, and and he goes, hey, I want to get you some publicity, and we went out. And he put like comedian Darren Carter marries his wife, and I was in Playgirl. I was in Playgirl magazine, and I was in Lowrider magazine.
Wow!
I did a show in Phoenix, Arizona. It's crazy. Like when you think about a lot of things hit pretty, but media is different back then. I mean, I was in, you know what I mean? When you think about like TV, movies, magazines.
Well, remember just being in the newspaper or the magazine was the biggest deal.
Totally, you get lots of copies of it.
Yeah.
Remember that? You're like, hey, I got 5 copies or 10 copies, however many you could get.
Yeah, that's funny.
And now
that's funny.
You realize like people don't really,
even I did a great show on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's wearing off. You know what I mean? It's back to making furniture. It's back to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's strange what we do. However, we do bring a very immediate and a very well-needed happiness to people. That's the way I look at it now. In today's day and age, for them to come out and just to forget everything for an hour while we bust balls on the audience, it's a real. And I saw, not to get too deep, I saw a girl on Instagram that she imitates Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
and she's really good at it.
Yeah.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
And she said, you guys want to give me S for, I'm not dumping on Kamala Harris, I just happen to have the gift of being funny. And she called it a gift, and it was weird to be reminded that we're not just doing this for $50. We're not doing it till we see the red light so we can run back home.
Right.
We're up there and we have a gift.
I get those messages. What's great about Instagram is those videos have taken off. Thank you guys for subscribing and following me. And I'll get those messages occasionally where people are like, again, you made my day. Or they'll be like, I was having a terrible day and this made my day. And it's like, oh, wow. It's like, it feels really good,
It's deep down inside, anyone, either comedians or people, even in the comedy business, what I found with my daughter is, people that work at the comedy club or a team to entertain these people that came through the door.
Yeah.
Like, they greet them when they come in, and on the way out, they say, we did it as a team. You know what I mean? These people are from another state. This is their big night out. We go to the Improv 50 times a week.
Yeah.
This is their big night to come to the Improv or the Laugh Factory. You know what I mean?
It's a big deal. It might be their birthday.
Whatever it is, it's a way bigger event to them than it is us.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle said it 50 years ago. People dress nice and put on perfume to come see me.
Yeah. It's wild. There's a country music singer, because I love a lot of different artists and I love to learn from them. And there's a guy that I love named Tom T. Hall, God rest his soul. He was a great performer, and one of the last performances that he did, the last thing he said, when he's like, he's finished his song, everyone's clapping, and he goes, I don't know if it's possible, but I hope you had as much of a good time as I did.
Oh, wow, that's nice. That's
good night. And they were like, oh my gosh. And it was so sincere in the way.
Well, watch this. I texted, I'll tell you quickly, the guy that I worked for Saturday Night Long Island owns 3 clubs. Mm-hmm. So he called me on Sunday and said, do you want to do a guest spot? So now I have his phone number.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't book my gigs, someone else books them. So today I just texted him. I said, you know what, I don't know if I should reach out to him. I got to go through an agent. I said, James, I just want to let you know I've been doing this for 32 years. Saturday night was the greatest show I ever had, and that's because you invited me. You don't know my wife died 2 years ago. And Saturday night was not only fun, it was cathartic, for all of us. And it couldn't have happened if you didn't invite me to your club. I hope to see you again, John DiResta. My point being, Saturday night wasn't just ha ha ha, penis joke, ha ha ha. There was a reunion. People hadn't seen each other in 50 years, and there was all inside jokes.
Yeah.
It was, imagine 200 people that we kind of know him, and you know what I mean? And then if they didn't know the person, they knew him because I explained who it was, and the joke meant. You dig what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just you in the red hat. What do you do? I'm an engineer. You drive the train. Agagish.
Yeah.
Agagish.
Yeah.
I don't come to the work, eat your fries, and knock them out of your hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like you're gelling everyone together, and
Dude,
especially because a lot of the audience is probably like closer to your age. You guys have similar memories.
Oh, totally. So, and here's what I'm seeing in you and in me is that we it's deep shit. We orchestrate.
Yeah,
we
like
orchestrate the fun.
Yeah. I like that. You know,
we orchestrate the fun. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's not.
As compared to blah 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 dating sites, blah 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 405.
Right, like you told me about that. Like when you said like these comedians, like I went to the coffee shop and I wrote down my joke and I delivered it, and
I'm gonna do some new stuff now.
Yeah, it's like what's entertaining about that? So I think when the person is alive up there and they're like connected to the audience, if it's an entertainer, stand-up comedian, a singer, that's
the number one thing is it's a known thing. It's showmanship and presentation. Those are the two things: showmanship and presentation. Like. Everyone's telling me, oh, I can't believe it. I go, all I do is get a haircut every 4 weeks. I got the suit jacket for free, but I had it tailored. I wear the same pants every night. I wear the same shoes in my workshop as I do on stage. But see how dusty they are?
Yeah.
Do you know what I do before a show?
Clean them.
I spray paint them black. They look brand new every time.
Wow.
I just spray paint them.
Inside tips.
But my point being, where other comedians, like hooded sweat jacket, let me see, I got lost. Donald Trump thinks that he didn't win the elections. His wife is a slut.
Yeah, it's like, how's that
Hold on, it's a funny character.
Do that. Yeah. You gotta do the cop character. Keep your hands where I can see.
Oh, dude, listen, I want to give you credit. Know when I was going to go over the edge on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Because my mom wasn't there?
Yeah.
Dude, 1013, cocked and loaded. I knew the address of the club. 1013, 5787 Merrick Road. He's getting racial, Central Viva.
Yeah.
Dude, 1013. And in a strange twist of fate, every police department has different call letters. Did you know that?
I think so, yeah.
So the bridge collapsed yesterday. Did you hear what the cop said?
No.
1013.
Wow.
Bridges collapsed. 1013. Send everybody.
1013. What does that mean?
In New York, that means I'm in trouble. I'm being shot at.
Oh wow.
1085 means I need help. 1085 forthwith means I really need help.
Wow.
1013 means my life's on the line.
Damn. So you're saying 1013, and that means
I'm saying 1013 just because half the guys in that audience were cops, and there was a funny. It's a smooth over to do a dirty joke.
What do they do in LA? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know the call. I don't know. I could find it out, but the odds of it being 1013 are slim.
We should just walk by different cops and say numbers. Do cops know? And then we're gonna wrap up. Do other when you're around LA and you speak to cops? Do you think they have any inkling that you used to be a cop, or?
No, I tell them right up front to make them feel safe, just so they don't suspect me. And or if we go to a 7-Eleven, I say I was on the job in case something happens that 1 second. You know what I mean? I want them to save me.
Oh, I was on the job.
Yeah.
And did people do that when you were like on the job?
Yeah.
Like older guys would come up. Hey, I used to be a cop in the 60s.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And watch this. When you say you're on the job out here, a lot of them don't get it. It's an inside. The two things in New York is I was on the job means you're a cop, because you could say it in public. Hey, I'm on the job. Me too.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one is on the arm.
That means, I think I only know this because you told me this.
What does it mean?
It means you go to a restaurant, like, hey, give me a free meal because I'm a cop. Like, I'm on the job.
No, it's funny. You go to pay, and they do that.
Oh, they do?
They let you know it's a freebie.
Oh, wow.
It's on the arm.
Oh, wow.
Dude, watch this. I took these notes for this thing.
Yeah.
I got to put that down for the next show.
On the job.
On the job.
Yeah.
And on the arm.
On the arm. On that note, we'll leave. And I want to thank you guys. Do me a favor, subscribe, share the podcast, share the reels, follow John DiResta on Instagram, follow Darren Carter, official Darren Carter. You guys have a great rest of your day, and don't hurt nobody. Be careful.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you, buddy.
You got it.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.